Moin Moin and welcome to Ralfs Foto-Bude. After 3 days of testing and taking photos with the GX7, I will give you a little update of the camera because there were some questions from my readers in Germany also as in English. So here's my little update. First of all, the Viewfinder has a 16:9 format. So if you take pictures in the other sizes, 4:3, 3:2 and 1:1, you have black stripes at the left and the right side of the electronic viewfinder. The letters, the exposure time and all the other stuff goes completely over the 16:9 format, so they only cut the middle of the viewfinder if you use other formats than the 16:9 format. Next point, the camera doesn't have a microphone, an external microphone jack, so you can't put an external microphone on it. And the HDMI output isn't working while you're taking videos, so you have the only control on the display or on the viewfinder. It's not like the GH3, which have the HDMI output while taking videos. Next point, again, the flash, you can move the flash backwards, so you can make a direct flash over the ceiling if you want. And yes, some people ask if it has an external flash shoe. Yes, it has. It is here. It's a little bit hidden under this small plate, so I think it's a nice finish. So yeah, it has an external flash. What else? The shortest shutter speed is, I'll show you here. The shortest shutter speed is, oops, sorry. The shortest shutter speed is 1/8,000th of a second, so that's the shortest shutter speed. You can use it to freeze pictures, or if you take pictures in the bright sunlight, you won't need an ND filter to work with the full aperture of the lens, like 2.0 or stuff like that. One of the most important questions were the questions if the IBIS, the internal image stabilizer, works in video mode. I can show you how it is. It's a pre-version, so maybe at the final version they change it, but I don't think so. I think what's in the case of the IBIS, there is I think there's no change to the final version. So we have now a lens with OES, so that's the built-in stabilizer in the lens. And if you press the, I'm on the video mode here, you can see on manual video mode, and if I press the button, you see the lens, the autofocus works perfect, and there's no sign just beside of the green dot. So now I change the lens and I put on an Olympus lens 12mm without stabilizer. Put the lens on it, make exactly the same thing, and what do you see? Off. So this means the stabilizer is off, and you don't have a chance to activate it in the menus. So unfortunately the stabilizer won't work in the video mode. You have, I told you in my first video, the camera has an electronic shutter. If you use the electronic shutter, the ISO sensitivity, the highest ISO sensitivity you can choose is 3200 ISO. So if you work in the electronic shutter, 3200 is the maximum. If you work with a normal mechanical shutter, it's up to 25,600. And one thing in the most reviews or in the internal papers or the press papers from Panasonic, they said that the lowest ISO is 160. With my camera, when I use this one, my lowest ISO sensitivity is you can see here. My lowest ISO sensitivity is 125 ISO, so it's not 160 but 125. So I think this will be also in the final serial model, so the lowest 125. You can choose the silent mode with this camera, so you can that's very nice, because usually when you want to work in silence you have to activate the electronic shutter and stop all the sounds in the extra menu. At the GX7 you have a point that called, let me see, that called where it is, sorry for this, silent mode. Here we have it, silent mode. And if you turn on the silent mode, the electronic shutter is on and all the sounds are off. You see here the small sign which says E electronic shutter. And one good thing, you can put the point silent mode on one of the functions buttons, and I've used the FN4. So if I press the FN4 I can start the silent mode or switch the silent mode off. I think that's very nice, because it's like with the XE1 or the X20 from Fujifilm, where you can press the button a little bit longer and start the silent mode directly. So this is almost the same, just putting it on the FN button. One nice feature which is new is you see here, I can show you here, is the, just a second, that's HDR. Okay, so I show you HDR. There were some questions about the HDR mode. So the question is if the works the HDR mode only like the exposure up and down, or is it a mode where you can shoot 3 continuous pictures? Yes, it is. If you have the the setup, and you can change the dynamic range from 3 to 1 to auto. If I go to 3 and then auto align, if you don't want to shoot from a tripod, you can auto align the picture. So you have to hold the camera while shooting the 3 pictures a little bit steady, and the camera put the pictures together, even if they are not exactly the same position. So you have the auto align function. I tried it, it seemed to work very good. So, and if you have the auto align function on, and then go back to the menu, start the HDR like this, and now we make a picture. I go a little bit, I zoom a little bit off, and now we press and camera makes 3 pictures, and then you combine it together and it looks, it's a little bit too dark because I moved the camera too early. I think it's not the final version. Let's give another try. And here we are. Let's see how this one is. Processing. It's a little bit too dark. So I think it's a pre-version, but I tried some pictures outside in the sun and it worked fine, and I tried it in the evening, it worked fine. So I think the HDR function is like this. So, but one other point, a new point in the menu is the highlight shadow point, and if you go to the highlight shadow point, you can change the graduation. If you turn the dial on the back side, you turn the shadow, you change the shadow, and if you turn the dial on the front side, you change the highlight. So you can customize it. They have several functions, preset functions like this, but you also have the customize functions where you can customize it. I like it very much because you can use it in the black and white mode, and so you can make the graduation by yourself and don't have to go to the art filters, because in the art filters you don't have so many possibilities to play like with ISO or stuff like that. talking about the photo styles and talking about monochrome. If you go to the different styles and you go to monochrome, one new thing you have at the monochrome mode, you have the contrast, you have the sharpness, you have the saturation, that's the blue or sepia mode. See, you can change here from blue to sepia. And one very new thing is you have filter effects. You can go to yellow, orange, red and green. The first three for taking pictures outside with blue sky, the green one for taking portraits. So yeah, again a nice feature, a nice new feature of the GX7. What else do we have? Then we have the art filters. There are some new art filters. We have this new overview for the art filters, and here at this place we have the new art filters. Monochrome is the old one, then we have dynamic monochrome, rough monochrome, and we have silky monochrome. And if you go to the different settings like rough monochrome, you can change the settings. You have here the small button at the side of the control monitor, and if you press the button here, you can change. Here we can change the setting from rough to a little less rough, and so you have different settings in the art filters to change the new art filters. Yeah, so what's new? It's the Wi-Fi mode. I told you before, camera has a Wi-Fi mode. It's the same as the G6 and the TX41. You can send pictures in the background from the camera to your smartphone or your tablet PC. So this is exactly the same. You also have the NFC chip here at the side. You should see there is the small NFC logo. You see, here we are. That's the small NFC logo. Yeah, that's almost everything new, and these are the questions my readers had and my YouTube viewers. So yeah, I think that's all. It's a real nice camera. I like it very much. I worked 2 days with it. It was a great fun. The viewfinder I like very much. Oh yeah, the dioptry change you have here, the dioptry correction you have here under the viewfinder. So that was a question too, if there is a control. Yes, there is a control. And I'm talking again about the flash. Yeah, there's a, you can remote control several flashes. So that's also a point some readers ask me. Yes, you can connect several flashes together and remote control them. Picture quality, it's a pre-sample, so the firmware is not final. It's the 0.2 firmware. I did some pictures in low light quality and with high ISO, and compare it to the G5, and picture quality is better. The GX7 has a better picture quality than the G5. And less noise, a little bit sharper in the low ISO, also in the mid and high ISO areas. The picture, I think, is a little bit softer than with the G5, but it's not so soft that it looks unnatural. I think it's a good compromise between less noise and still a good sharpness and still a good clear picture. So the noise is reduced in the bright and in the dark areas. In the dark areas you have almost no noise, or really less noise. So I think the sensor is better compared to the Fuji X-E1. In the low and mid ISO areas, the picture quality is not exactly the same, but it's close together. There's not a real gap between both. Maybe the X-E1 is a little bit better. It has a little bit less noise in the mid ISO areas. When it comes up to the high ISO areas, 6.4, 12.8 and 25.6, I think the XE1 still is a little bit better than the GX7. But again, it's a pre-version, it's not the final firmware, so there might be a little bit change when the camera comes out with the final firmware. That's it for today. I have to bring back the GX7 and hope I will get it back in a few weeks to make the final quality check of the camera. One question was autofocus. I try to speak it now correct. Autofocus. Yeah, it's really fast, and you have the touch autofocus too, that's for sure. So I think the autofocus speed is real fast, and if it's faster than the G6, G5, I don't know. It's very difficult to check, but it's fast, and it works really nice. I've done some pictures with my dog running around, and it works really good. The autofocus is fast, and the shutter release, the gap is very short, so there's nothing to complain. I mean, all time there's something to complain, but at this point, for me personally, it's absolutely okay. The speed is absolutely okay. Also, the turn-on speed is exceptional. If you turn on the camera, it takes just under a second if the camera is ready to shoot. So that's it for today. I hope you see my videos in the next few days. They're coming up some interesting videos. I hope for the Fuji X-M1, and I hope I will make the picture quality for the GX7 as soon as possible. Go to my Flickr account, there you will see the test pictures for the ISO quality of the GX7. So if you visit my Flickr account constantly or frequently, you will see the update immediately. So thank you for watching, have a nice day, take some nice pictures. Until now I say moin moin.